I'll get it going here. We should be live any second now. I think we are now, and then I'll mute this out for us so we don't get the feedback. Make sure there's no back systems running here. All right. We are live, guys, with the weekly dose with Dr. Kyle. How are you doing today, Dr. Kyle?
I am fantastic today. Thank you. And I'm excited to be here.
Oh my, I'm excited to have you here. Guys, for those of you who maybe this is your first time stopping by, we do the weekly dose with Dr. Kyle every week. Today, it's kind of a special time because Dr. Kyle was busy with a convention with some doctors this weekend. And so we're hosting this on Tuesday, but generally it would be Mondays. And for those of you who might not know Dr. Kyle, he is a pioneer in brain health nutrition. He's the creator of America's #1 best-selling brain health supplement. You're the author of Brighter Mind and Testosterone Switch. And Dr. Kyle is a genius when it comes to attacking the effects of stress on our body and explaining to us what stress is doing and how we can start to actually reverse the effects, fix the effects, and actually change how we're feeling inside, outside, everywhere. It's just been amazing. We have people following his 3-step program, getting massive results in their life, myself included, and it's just blown me away. So Dr. Kyle, I want to welcome you here today. Thank you for taking some time out with us. You had a good weekend?
It was a great weekend. It was like full tilt, 100% energy, waking up early, going to bed late. We had 72 doctors in attendance, and I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away that I get to host events like that. I feel blessed. So thank you for asking. It was a great weekend. I learned a lot. I felt like I got to contribute a lot. So I'm excited to be with you, like I said, here for this interview today.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule with us. And guys, I shared with you last week, make sure to get a journal for these weekly dose episodes because you're going to want to take notes during this time. Today is a very powerful one that just totally intrigues me, the topic that we had today. But just make sure, I've got my journal out here. I'm taking notes while Dr. Kyle is talking because he shares these nuggets of wisdom, these things that you can implement starting today to start to feel better and to start just taking different action. And so today, our topic is about exercise, and it's part of your 3-step program. Now, to quickly go over what that 3-step program is, step 1, correct me if I'm wrong, is nutrition. Step 2 is your diet, and step 3 is exercise.
Yes.
Right. And so we went over this program quite detail last week, but we kind of saved the exercise portion for this week because for me, this is a topic that I think is very hot, that many people are going to want to hear because the message today that Dr. Kyle is going to be sharing is that we can get maximum benefits, maximum results from just 10 minutes of exercise a day. That's so you're saying that with just 10 minutes now, what type of exercise are we doing? And so how does this work?
Okay, the beautiful part of the story has been really unraveling or expanding in science for about the last 10 years. So let me set the stage if I can. Not so long ago, you and I were taught that we needed to do, quote, aerobic exercise.
Right.
And we expected that we need to do aerobic exercise maybe 40 minutes a day or an hour a day. You know, we heard commitments making 7 hours a week in commitment to exercise, to usually aerobic exercise. And interestingly, we found out that may actually be bad for our bodies, especially if we're 40 years of age and up or 30 years of age and up, that there's a better way to exercise. And, I have to tell you, I was into aerobic exercise. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video were dedicated to that. It was hard to do. It was hard to set aside that much time. So I feel incredibly excited to share with your viewers about the fact that you can, like you said, get the benefits of exercise in just 10 minutes a day, a 10-minute commitment. Now, let me set the stage if I may, because this form of exercise we're going to talk about, I always call it 10 minutes a day of exercise done the right way.
Right.
This form of exercise boosts growth hormone. Now, that's important because if you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years of age or older, you want growth hormone.
Right.
Those individuals with higher blood levels of growth hormone, they age slower, they look better, they feel better, they experience less disease in their lifetime. The main key there is it's an anti-aging ingredient. And the key is your brain makes this when you exercise properly. If you don't exercise properly, your brain won't make a smidge of it. But if you do exercise properly, it'll boost to higher levels. So we're in control of this throttle, so to speak, of how much growth hormone we have circulating by the kind of activity or exercise that we do. And again, setting the stage, 10 minutes a day of exercise done the right way will boost growth hormone. But I have to say, but wait, that's not all. There's more to the picture, not just growth hormone, but it will maintain or improve hormone health in both men and women. And I'm talking about in a man's body testosterone, I'm talking about women's panel hormones as well. In addition to that, it will improve focus, concentration, memory, and learning. As a matter of fact, exercise, especially the type we're going to be talking about, may be the key to avoiding things like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And one fact is this, listen to this again. When you exercise the right way, your brain actually produces a substance called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's a nerve growth factor, and it does what it kind of sounds like it does. It's a nerve growth factor. It's a factor that improves nerve health. You know, in lay lectures and in doctor lectures, many times I say it's like miracle grow for brain cells. Now, that's not a scientific term, but what I'm saying, though, is it's like a fertilizer. It creates an environment in the brain that makes the brain healthier as we age and slows the aging process of brain cells. In addition, and I can kind of end here, exercising the right way is actually a boost to hormone health. Exercising the wrong way can actually negatively affect immune health. So the reality is this form of exercise we now know today is the right way to exercise. Back to what we said, 10 minutes a day done the right way. Everyone watching this can make a 10-minute commitment for all these benefits that I'm talking about. I often say there's no pill, potion, or lotion on the planet, no shot, no injection, nothing as powerful as doing the right kind of exercise. So setting the stage, what is the right kind of exercise? It's high intensity, short duration. So the key word is intensity. Whatever exercise you like to do, you want to enhance or improve the intensity of the exercise. And by enhancing the intensity, you enhance growth hormone. You know, the reality is our brain and our body are connected. There's a brain-body connection, but neurologically, we are mapped out to where when the human body begins to move with intensity, growth hormone and all these positive benefits occur. Now, I personally believe, and from the research literature, I believe that it's actually setting an alarm system from your head to your toe. If you and I were outside and we were sprinting as hard as we could for 100 yards, our brain's going, whoa, what's happening here? Our body, every alarm system's going off, and it kind of resets everything. And that's a good word. It will reset the stress response. So when we talk about the 3 steps that you entered with, the nutrition, the diet, and the exercise is a key component to actually reset the stress mechanism back to zero. It literally will reset the stress. So if you want to go through a 30-day stress detox like we advocate, you've got to make 10 minutes a day of exercise done the right way to do that. So what's the key word? Intensity. Intensity is what we're looking for with any type of exercise, specifically this type of exercise.
Right. Well, and as a woman, and I mean, I know you touched on this in the beginning, I grew up, like even now, mentally 30 to 60 minutes of exercise is what is needed to either maintain or lose weight. If I want to lose weight, it's 60 minutes, right? And I grew up, you know, even it was in the 80s, right? So it's Jane Fonda workouts and all of those mat workouts and all of that we're doing. And so this, honestly, for me, and this is why I found this topic so intriguing, this is one of the hardest steps in your program for me to wrap my head around. And I'm forcing myself to do it because I know I'm getting results, but it's almost like I'm reprogramming my mind to accept the fact that I can cut down the amount of time that I'm spending exercising.
Right.
And I just think that's so cool. And we had someone this week share their results where their weight loss efforts went from like a 1.5 pound 1 week to now over a 5 pound loss the second week because he reduced the amount of time that he was working out. And I think that that's so huge. So I'd love to talk on, you know, the differences between men and women, because I know you've shared with me before the benefits of increased testosterone when you implement the exercise for men, because I know that that's part of what you do, that you're able to actually up the results for their testosterone levels. So I'd love to cover that. But as a woman, and for people who are out there right now, implementing exercise, what is likely the one thing that we're doing wrong every single day?
That is the best question on the planet. And it's just the opposite. We're advocating high intensity, short duration. The bad part of exercise is low intensity, long duration. Now,
Okay.
before I set the stage for that, let me say this, because this is really important. The reality is any kind of exercise is good for your brain and your body, any kind. Compared to being a couch potato or lethargic and never being physically active, any form of exercise is good for you. Just a walk outside is going to be good for you. Right now, we're trying to talk about the best way to exercise to improve hormone health, growth hormones specifically, and help men and women look better, feel better, and age slower. So it's actually called high intensity interval training. And we're going to explore what that means in just a moment. The reality is the word we're looking for is intensity. And we want to do intense exercise for short duration, not low intensity exercise for long duration. So your question, what's the mistake people are making? Perfect example is when you go into a gym and you see a bunch of people lined up on a treadmill. They're all sitting there watching television and they're just trudging along, bump, 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 bump for like 40 minutes or an hour. That's the wrong kind of exercise because it's not going to boost growth hormone. It's potentially, depending on the individual, it's not going to make a smidge of growth hormone. What you have to do is ramp up the intensity and shorten the duration to get the body and the brain's attention. And that creates a growth hormone response that pulls literally all the hormones up in a man's woman and a woman's body. So a man's body and a woman's body, they both benefit differently. But the reality is the bad thing people are doing and the wrong thing that they're doing is exercising way too long at low intensity when they want to shorten the duration and the time and increase the intensity.
Well, and I've done that too. I mean, I have a treadmill downstairs. There's tons of times like maybe not so much now, but in the past where I just hop on the treadmill, the kids are watching TV, get in your workout, right? And yeah, I mean, ideally, of course, any mom out there with kids is going to want to shorten her time for working out. As important as we know it is, we just don't have the time a lot of time. And so I think that's the best. Now, when you say that it affects the hormones in both a woman's and a man's body, I know this wasn't part of the outline that we had done, but would you mind quickly going over for a woman's body what that means, and then, like I said, for a man's body what that means with the exercise portion implemented?
Okay, for a woman's body, the thing that most women, I think, watching this video are going to be interested in is this form of exercise dramatically, and I mean dramatically, raises basal metabolic rate. BMR, okay. Basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories your body burns during activity and at rest. So if we exercise 10 minutes a day the right way, we're going to boost basal metabolic rate for the rest of the day. The studies show that sitting still after this form of exercise, you're going to burn more calories at rest. That's the key. That happens in a woman's body and a man's body. Basal metabolic rate comes up. Now, that's important because a lot of people that have been struggling with weight challenges, their basal metabolic rate, for whatever reason, is low. So boosting it is really the first thing we're after. If that's all we were looking for from this form of exercise, we're going to improve lean skeletal muscle mass and burn or lose body fat. And right there, that's probably most people's goal right here. But like I said, but wait, there's more. You have to look at the fact that that woman's brain and the man's brain is creating brain-derived neurotrophic factor or nerve growth factor. That's going to improve their mood. They're going to feel better. They're going to have improved brain performance for the rest of the day. So all these side benefits. This is a sidebar, but did you know that this form of exercise has been shown to be as effective at improving the symptoms of depression as medication? For some individuals, this can be as powerful as medication for boosting mood. And I have to say this, if we just boosted our mood, our focus, our concentration, and we raise basal metabolic rate, right there, that's enough for a 10-minute commitment, isn't it?
It is.
But for women, it's going to improve hormone health, meaning the whole hormone panel will improve from DHEA, which is a wonderful anti-aging hormone. Our bodies will make more of it, from growth hormone. All of these wonderful benefits, these anti-aging benefits, happen for a woman when she exercises in this way.
That is so awesome. So women, for those of you listening, Dr. Kyle basically just told us that in 10 minutes of high intensity exercise, it's an anti-ager. It boosts our growth hormone, and especially as we age, doctors start to talk about that more, right? Like start wanting you to take things for that. So you can do this through exercise. And I love that you said it ups the amount of calories that you burn at rest, because that's what I personally feel after a 10-minute high intensity exercise. even if I do it before bed, when I'm laying in bed reading before bed, I can feel my body burning. I can feel, I actually wake up in the morning and notice a difference in my body. And it's like, wow, you can see the physical changes, you can feel them, you have more energy, you have more of a burn, you're hungrier, you know, all of those things come in. And I just think that's so awesome. And I love that you say that it improves lean body mass and you burn more fat, which for most women, especially women that are busy, stressed, that are holding fat in places that we don't want it, you don't need to, you're basically saying we don't need to hop on the bikes, we don't need to hop on the treadmill, we don't need to be on the Stairmaster for an hour. 10 minutes of high intensity exercise is going to get you there. And it's not like we're saying that this is easy, because 10 minutes of high intensity exercise is still a good burn, it's a good workout. So would you mind sharing with us what that would actually look like for someone?
Okay, so ask you a question if I may.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to work out?
I work out at home. I love doing things like burpees and mountain climbers and stuff like that. So I like having, say, a 2-minute block of 30-second workouts and then taking a 30-second break and then going right back at it again.
That is exactly what we're talking about. And you and I didn't stage this. I didn't know what your answer was.
No.
Said that. So the reality is you want to, first of all, let me say this for everyone watching. I have to do the author disclaimer, if I may. Anyone watching this video, I want you to go to your doctor and make sure that you have permission to work out this way from your doctor, meaning they know they can evaluate you in a professional way and make sure that you're ready for this type of exercise that we're describing. If you're on any kind of medication or have any kind of disease process whatsoever, you need to visit with your doctor and get his okay. And by the way, if you've been sedentary for a very long time, you've been sitting around, you need to go get a physical from your medical doctor, from your practitioner, and make sure that you're ready for this kind of exercise. So let's assume the doctor's giving you the thumbs up. Absolutely, we want you to exercise this way. What you want to tell him is it's high intensity interval training. He'll know what that means. Okay, so this is what you do. You take any of the types of exercise you just mentioned and you ramp up the intensity. You try to go as intense and as hard as you can for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And then the key is you stop. You put your arms behind your head, increase your lung volume, breathe deeply to get your oxygen level to go up and your heart rate to go down. So you take about a 1 minute break and then you start over, you repeat. That is an interval. So again, an interval is going full tilt as hard as you possibly can for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then resting completely for 1 minute, and then starting over. That's an interval. So in a 10-minute time frame, you should be able to do 5 intervals within that time. And that's all you need to do. That's it, all you need to do. So now you can apply this to any form of exercise you want. I'm gonna go with the friendliest. Since we're moving into summer, a great way to do this is to get in a swimming pool, hold on to a kickboard, and kick as hard as you possibly can, like your life depended on it, for 30 seconds to a minute. That may not sound like much, but it will wind you like you can't imagine. Yeah. And then you rest for a minute, recover, let your oxygen level go up, your heart rate go down, and then you start over. That's one interval. You want to do it 5 times for a total of 10 minutes. Let's say that you're at a gym or at home, you have an elliptical machine. I love those because they don't create any kind of joint stress or damage. You get on that elliptical machine like you normally do. You put some resistance on it. And you know what I mean if you have an elliptical machine. And you go full tilt as hard as you can for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And then you stop completely. Put your arms behind your head. Like I said, increase your lung volume. Breathe deeply. Get your oxygen to go up and your heart rate to go down. And then you repeat. Do that 5 times for 10 minutes and you're done. Another machine I love is a Versa Climber. For anyone that's out there, that is a highly recommended exercise machine by me. It's perfect for this kind of exercise. And by the way, if you don't have membership at a gym, you can simply go online and purchase a mini trampoline for about $49. For $49, you put that mini trampoline underneath you. You can run in place full tilt as hard as you can without creating any joint damage on your lower extremities. And you can engage in this kind of high intensity interval training. So you want to commit to 10 minutes of this, which is about 5 intervals, like I said, and that's all you have to do to boost growth hormone, boost basal metabolic rate, improve your brain's production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, improve mood, focus, concentration, all the benefits we're talking about. 10-minute a day commitment. That's it. Now, there's one assumption I have to say, and that is that you have to warm up before you do this kind of exercise. Right. So that the commitment to exercise is 10 minutes, but you really need to dedicate, let's say, 5 full minutes to warming up getting the blood into your extremities, your arms and your legs, and making sure your muscles, ligaments, tendons, and everything are ready for this kind of exercise. It would be analogous to this. A sprint is this kind of high intensity interval training. If I was about to do a sprint, you better know I better warm up or I'm going to pull something, right? Or injure myself. So you want to get warmed up and ready for this kind of exercise and then dedicate just 10 minutes to it. That's the perfect way to do high intensity interval training.
That is awesome. So just to kind of outline it for people that are watching, because I know people are taking notes. I know this was a hot topic, and I know people, I just know, like, as a woman, this is just going to go through the roof for so many people and change so many lives. So you're saying, say 5 minutes of a warm up. So we could do like a light jog in place, some jumping jacks, maybe jumping rope, something like that. Just on the spot, just kind of warming up. And I've been doing this wrong, I will admit, because I've been making sure I've been getting in 10 minutes of the high intensity exercise. So I was basically doing like a 20-minute section with 10 minutes of it being in the exercise zone. So that is awesome to know that you can take those 10 minutes and only really 5 of them are the high intensity exercise. Right. So doing that, and then probably a good like 2 to 3 minute stretch afterwards, would you recommend, just to kind of cool down? And
exactly.
Okay, so really then, so we've got 10 minutes plus 5 minutes plus 3 minutes, 18 minutes. In 18 minutes a day, everybody can achieve maximum hormone results, maximum anti-aging results, maximum fat burning, maximum calorie burn. Like, it just blows my mind that that's all it takes, and that's really the code, the secret, how you can cut down your time and get maximum results.
That is the code. You're resetting that stress response. If you had a stressful day, you are resetting that stress response. So let me mention this for your viewers. Many studies show it's beneficial to do this kind of exercise first thing in the morning, especially if that's all your schedule allows. Meaning, if you get so busy during the day that you're going to miss your opportunity to exercise, you want to set aside the time first thing in the morning to do this kind of exercise. I personally believe, and what I've seen in practice, is this type of exercise is super beneficial to do between 12 and 4 p.m., specifically 4 p.m. if you can, because if you've had a stressful day, at the end of that day, you can reset that stress response. What's interesting is typically you don't want to do this much later than 6 or 7 p.m. because it will give you so much energy, it may be hard to fall asleep at night, which is kind of a weird thing because this type of exercise, if done before 4 p.m., is actually shown to improve sleep quality, meaning you fall asleep faster, you stay asleep longer, and you wake up refreshed. And that's another side benefit to this form of exercise that you've got to mention, because many of the other benefits may actually come from the improved sleep quality in a lot of individuals. Meaning, if you're watching this video and it's hard for you to fall asleep and you don't sleep well and you wake up tired every day, that will negatively affect your mood, your brain function, cognitive function, your memory, everything, right? So improving sleep quality certainly is one of the most powerful things we can do as an anti-aging strategy. And again, this form of exercise does that by improving what doctors call the circadian rhythm. It powerfully improves circadian rhythm as long as it's done really before 6 p.m. and optimally before 4 p.m. every day.
Wow, excellent. That is awesome to know, because there's a lot of times that I do save my workout for the evening. Although today I made sure to get it in since I knew this was our topic. I didn't want to be a hypocrite on here. But no, I mean, that's awesome to know, because I do have trouble sleeping, and that as long as I read or something for an hour, but there's a lot of times where I just want to go to sleep. So that's good to know. Now, I did have a question come in from someone when they knew what our topic was going to be, and they've been following your plan. And I think you answered it in what you were saying, but he's having trouble bringing his heart rate down to that lower level, like when he's doing his high intensity, waiting for that time where it comes down. So is the putting your arms behind your head, would that be something that would help him to basically get breathing deeper? Or, do you have to wait till it comes? Because he's really following it to a T, because your plan actually talks about where your heart rate is at, like what levels you want to be at. So he's following it to a T. Does he need to be exactly in that correct zone before starting up again into the higher intensity?
What I would do is I would start with putting the hands behind the head and breathing as deep as you possibly can, getting as much oxygen into the lungs, because when the oxygen levels go up, the heart rate will go down. And another key to this is the more you do it, the better you improve the shape that you're in, meaning when you're in better shape, your heart rate will recover very quickly. So one of the benefits of being an athlete or near an athlete, is your heart rate will go to its peak healthy level and it will recover back very quickly. So what this indication probably is this individual just started this type of exercise and their body's acclimating to it. So my point is, the more you stick to it, the more you condition your entire body, including your heart, to move blood better and oxygen better, your heart rate will start to go down quicker.
Perfect. And really, when you talk about athletes, this is really how they train as well, right? Like they maximize, they need that growth hormone as well. And this is how they maximize those results. I've heard that before. And so it's like, why wouldn't you want to work out how the athletes do it?
Exactly. And let me mention this. This individual may want to modify their plan to where they do 30 seconds of as much intensity as they can, because many times that's enough to wind you. And then they take a full minute and a half to recover. So
Okay.
that minute and a half, you're within that 2-minute zone. So you can start your next interval and be finished with 5 within 10 minutes. That's probably the key right there, is dedicate just a little bit more time to breathing deep and oxygenation.
Awesome. That's so good. Thank you. So last week we touched a bit on how actually going longer, working out at a high intensity for a longer period of time, or just doing really strenuous, long 45-minute, 60-minute workouts can actually do damage. Can you touch on that quickly for us? What might be happening in those situations?
I can. It goes like this. For most older individuals, anything longer than 20 minutes, and you start to boost the stress hormone cortisol. And as we shared earlier, the stress hormone cortisol is the enemy to healthy aging. If there's one thing that derails our health, our life, how we feel, it's the stress hormone cortisol. So the goal here is to try to keep cortisol in the normal range and not boost it to the hypercortisolemia range, which is where it goes when we become stressed. So it's interesting, physical exercise becomes a stressor for the brain and the body if you do too much for too long. So the goal is to try to squash it all down to about 10 minutes, like we're talking about, of high intensity, so you get all the benefits of the exercise without the cortisol release. That's the key. So a lot of individuals, like I'm saying, they're 30, 40, 50 years of age or older, and they're trying to exercise for 40 minutes or an hour. They're boosting cortisol. For their body, that's called overtraining. And overtraining decreases the immune system, creates oxidative stress, which ages the brain and the body. All these negative effects begin to manifest after, let's say, 20 to 40 minutes. So the idea, high intensity interval training squashes the time frame down and improves the intensity. So we're not really stimulating, if you will, a stress response for the brain and for the body.
It's so funny too, because just you even saying that, like I think of times where, say, I'm in getting a pedicure, manicure, and I just even recently there was a couple of older ladies sitting beside me talking about how, oh, I'm trying to work out and I'm doing all these exercises and I'm not getting any results and I'm barely eating any calories and I don't know what's wrong. And it's like, when you're talking, it's like ding, ding, ding right there. And I mean, guys, if you're watching this, share this with as many people as you want to. Like, nothing's being sold here. We're not doing, this is just informational purposes only. And everybody needs to know this. You know, there's so many people right now. I mean, the baby boomer generation, they're all trying to feel better. They're all trying, you know, so many people are sick that everybody's trying to just fight against getting sick, that this is just massive news for everybody, because if you just cut down what you're doing, do it the right way. And like you say, you shared ways that the older generation, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, they can do these, the mini trampoline. They can do the workouts. They can do all of the things that you shared, like getting on their machines and everything. It's just a little bit more intensity in less time. And I think that's perfect. You can get back to watching what they can watch their shows. And now I'm categorizing. I don't want to do that, but it's perfect. So this also for me, now this really touches home when you say this, because when we talk about overdoing it, I have hypothyroidism. And I know that there's millions of women out there that have hypothyroidism. And I was diagnosed with it 2 years after my daughter was born. And for me, I had always worked out since I was like 19 and, you know, was always getting results and knew exactly what to do. And all of a sudden, my workout efforts were not producing for me. And so would this be why? Because my doctor would say to me, well, you can't work out as hard anymore. And it's like, but I want to. I enjoy working out. You know, I don't want to just go walking. I want to actually feel that burn and get that release. So for people like me with hypothyroidism, would this plan then be exactly what we want to be doing?
It is exactly what you want to be doing with hypothyroid. So I challenge anyone watching this video, go to Google, do high intensity interval training and add thyroid to that. And you're going to pull up all kinds of studies from PubMed, which is the National Library of Medicine Online, and other health practitioners talking about the fact that this is actually supportive. If not, it will improve healthy thyroid function. The key is this: stress is the enemy of your thyroid. So if you're exercising too long, that low intensity, long duration, and you're raising cortisol, you are, so to speak, irritating, aggravating, or decreasing thyroid health with every bout of that kind of exercise. So the key is do the high intensity interval training, which gives you all the benefits of exercise without raising the stress hormone cortisol. So the key for thyroid function, for healthy thyroid function, is really to engage in this type of exercise every day. This is proven. You can see it right there online at PubMed or National Library of Medicine. It's incredible because, like you're mentioning, so many people today actually have hypothyroidism. They're looking for ways to improve thyroid health, and it all comes back to exercise. Like I said at the top of the interview, there's no pill, potion, or lotion as powerful as exercising the right way every day. This stimulates health in just about every way. It doesn't have any of the negative aspects of exercising a very long time and, quote, overtraining.
That is so awesome. I mean, it is just powerful because it changes. So many women are going to just benefit from this so much, because I know myself, like, I've always loved high intensity. It's always been something I always have enjoyed doing, intervals, but I've almost done like a double, if not triple. And I can actually feel my thyroid start to flutter in some of those situations. And I know I'm like, ooh, I think I've overdone it. Like, I think I've drained it. And so that's it right there. So, I mean, myself and women like me don't need to then feel guilty like you're not doing enough. You're doing exactly what you should be doing for your condition, for your body, for your mind, for anti-aging, for your stress, for everything. The last thing we want to be doing is re-stressing ourselves, but through exercise, right? So I thank you so much for the information. We're going to quickly take a look at the lives, but I just really want to encourage everybody watching today to implement this.
Do it.
You know, in the next 30 days, implement this into, how many days a week do you suggest? Is it 5, 6?
I like 6 days a week and taking one day as a rest day.
Perfect.
I found that's perfect. And I have to say, kind of like a call to action, everyone watching this video should try this, as long as your doctor approves of it for you personally, because it will transform how you feel. It will clear. Many people talk about brain fog. This will clear brain fog. People talk about mood, as I mentioned earlier. This will improve mood, decrease depression. This is it's a godsend. It's a wonderful way to exercise, to have all the benefits of exercise. And you don't have to make that crazy commitment, and you don't have to go buy expensive equipment or even have a gym membership. I love having a gym membership. I love the fact that if you have a gym membership, you've got access to let's say a personal health coach or a fitness trainer who can show you really awesome ways to warm up and move into this kind of exercise. That's huge. That's beneficial. But you don't have to go spend money. This is easy. $49.95 online. You can buy a mini tramp, or if you have access to a swimming pool, you can do this for free.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I do have access. I have one in my backyard. So I can tell you, I'm so excited because I've always wanted to be able to do pool workouts and not feel guilty about it, that I didn't go down in my basement and do my hard workout. So I'm excited. Everybody's fired up, Dr. Kyle. We've got Rachel and Janet and Annie and Peyton. People saying they're going to go out and buy a mini trampoline, and people excited to go swimming, and it's just going to be awesome. So guys, share this with as many people as you can. Now, we're gonna wrap this up now because we have gone over the half hour, but when you said that cortisol is the enemy of aging, of healthy aging, cortisol is the enemy of healthy aging, our topic next week is going to be cortisol and what that's doing to our bodies and how we can start to fight against what it's doing to us and take control. So I'm excited about that because I know cortisol. Yeah. That's
such a great topic, such a topic that brings such value to people. So thank you for that. I look forward to that interview.
Oh, I'm really excited for it too. The next week is going to be cortisol. I think we're going to go into testosterone the next week. And I would really love to spend a week after that, Dr. Kyle, covering, oh, sorry, my alarms go off here, covering the growth hormone and what that really means and the benefits of it, because I think that's maybe something that people have heard about, don't really understand, and make it just more of something that people understand what that's actually doing, because it sounds like such a medical term, but we need to really understand what that is and the benefits of it in our lives. So I'm excited for the weeks to come, guys. Set this in your calendars. Generally, we are on Mondays at 11 Central, 12 Eastern with Dr. Kyle for the weekly dose. And we're here for about a half an hour every week where Dr. Kyle is sharing sharing his wisdom on how you can do a stress detox on your life, how you can start to feel better, look better, fight against the enemy, cortisol, fight against what stress is doing to your body, and just live better. I mean, goodness, you've just knocked off half an hour to 45 minutes of people's time in their day. That's a stress right there. Like I said last week, you know, if it's the end of your day and you're thinking that you have to fit in 45 minutes, but really honestly, all you need is 18 minutes. Anybody can do 18 minutes of exercise a day, as long as they're able to. So I want to thank you so much for sharing your mind with us today. And again, where can people get your books, Testosterone Switch and Brighter Mind?
Oh, yeah. The Brighter Mind book and the Testosterone Switch book describe this form of exercise in detail, give you all kinds of options beyond what we've talked about, and you can get both books at Zenesta.com. So thank you.
Zenesta.com. It's Xenesta.com. Go over and get your books, guys, and implement this. I'm excited. And make sure to share your results with us. Like, message me, post on my timeline. I think it's open. Just share with us the effects of this. Send a message. I'll make sure Dr. Kyle gets it. We'd love to hear from you, your testimonies, how this works for you, the results that you get. Maybe if you're stuck at a plateau right now and all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to try this out because this really excites me, like I was, then make sure to be doing it and share with us how it works for you. So again, Dr. Kyle, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week when we talk about cortisol with Dr. Kyle in the weekly dose. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bless you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.